Hello, everyone. I hope you are able to see me. I am Nikki Heider of Enlighten My World. I am a psychic medium, and I'm here today to share with you a Scorpio new moon reading. And the reason I was inspired to do this was mainly because I wanted you and myself to kind of see what we have looking forward, see what we get to look forward to. And I'm just going to do a few things because we're streaming to multiple uh, social media things right now. So if you just want to check in and say hi in the chat, that would be great while I make sure we are calibrated here. All right. Okay. So we're going to start with general Celtic Cross Tarot. So I'm going to actually switch the view so you can see the cards that come out, and maybe you get other messages that that I don't see because they're personal. Sometimes you might see them in the pictures. Hopefully, you can see the pictures well. And sometimes you see them in the number that they are. Um, You can see them in colors. Maybe a color means something to you, or the number of the card in the deck. I'm also going to do some oracle card readings, and let's talk a little bit while I'm shuffling our deck about Scorpio new moon. So new moons always mean the things we want to bring in. All right, the full moon is about releasing and getting rid of those things that no longer serve us. And a new moon is all about manifesting and putting out the intention of the things that we want to manifest, the energies that we want to exist in. And I don't read reversals typically, so that's nice. Our first card is transformation or death in some decks, and the number is 13 for anyone who's interested. If you are unable to see the cards, let me know in the chat so that I can fix it for you, or at least pull it closer so that you can see them. Already, it's looking good. Down a little bit. All right. And I'll say what the cards are since they're covered up a little bit here. All right. So it looks like this time to come, and typically the energy of a new moon occurs between the new moon and the full moon, and we can kind of either continue with the energy that we like for this new moon, or we can move forward and change it to something else or upgrade our intentions a little bit. So as we go through this, really think, because we're going to do a little exercise once we're done the reading, to really put those manifestations into action for you, and have those intentions kind of ready to go and start manifesting, because Scorpio is all about change. It's about shedding skin, and it's also very much about truth. So there may be some things that you've noticed in the last few weeks or so that are coming up that really maybe hit home and deal with the things that you have viewed as truth in your life, and maybe are realizing that it's not that they weren't true, but maybe they're not so true anymore. And a nice thing you can do for yourself is to write down those things that have been coming up, the things that maybe have been dwelling in your mind or giving you anxiety, things that you feel that you really are finished with and want to move on with, and write them down and look at the way you viewed them before and look at the way you view them now. So, for instance, if you have issues with money or finances, and maybe the last few weeks you've really been triggered and you've really noticed a lot of things that have not been going so well for you as far as money's concerned, but in reality, look at where you are in the moment. Has anything changed? Do you have a roof over your head, God willing? Do you have, hi there, heart love Joe? Thank you for joining us. And I know there's a few more people on there, probably people who I know and am related to. So I say hi to all of you too, and I love you. So look at the way you look at finances now and look at the way you've looked at finances in the past and see how much you've grown and how much you've changed. And if you notice little things that are bringing you back to old ways, old fears that you've had, really try to look at what you have in your life now. Look at what has not changed. If something has triggered you, and it doesn't have to be finances, it could be love, it could be family, it could be social situations, it could be work. The things that have been preying on you in the last few weeks, look at what really has changed. Has the thing that happened actually changed anything in your life? And maybe it has. If it has, look at that transformation. Look at what is trying to transform into your life, or transform you in your life, into a new form, into the butterfly. I heard another reader at one point talk about Scorpio energy, and she expressed it as one of the symbols of Scorpio wasn't just the scorpion, but it was also the phoenix and the eagle. And if you think of the phoenix comes from the ashes and it bursts up into flames and turns into the beautiful phoenix bird, which is a magical bird. And see see what areas of your life are transforming, because sometimes those negative things that are happening to us aren't happening to us necessarily because bad things are supposed to happen, or because we're supposed to feel these uncomfortable things. I think that's the symbol for Scorpio too on the death card. I could be wrong. It's the little M looking thing. But look at where in your life change is happening, because change is happening. And then this is the Four of Cups. This is the sitting in that energy. These are those little triggering moments that I was talking about. That's kind of on the surface. The reality of what's going on in your life is this transformation. But on the surface, it may look like there's these little annoying things happening to you that are making you look at the glass empty. And we need to switch that energy around and see where the blessings are that we do have and being grateful for them. But also, hi, Jackie, being very cognizant of how are we looking at the things that don't look so good to us or don't feel so good to us. Because what this new moon is bringing is a time for us to recognize the blessings, even in the negatives, but yet at the same time, look at where we're transforming and look at what we want to accomplish in our life moving forward. How can maybe we need to change some things. Maybe things are reoccurring because we're falling into past patterns. How is that happening for you? Are you repeating a cycle that you've repeated for many years, and maybe this is the time you recognize it and you do something about that. And it doesn't have to be action as in doing something, but maybe it's action as in how you think and how you go through your day and how you move through life. And we have our lovely tower card. Nobody ever likes seeing the tower card. But in reality, the tower card is all about this transformation. In order to transform, sometimes things have to be swept away from us. So this would really go into that energy of the full moon that we came out of, which is releasing that which does not serve us. So it may not have felt good and it may have felt triggering and we may have been feeling unlucky or stuck in a doldrum, but in reality this is bringing everything down to the foundation so we can build anew. And that's the energy that this new moon is bringing us right here, that transformative, coming into who you are, coming into your truth, because Scorpio is all about truth. It's cuts like a knife, right? So we're coming from a time, and this may not be for everybody, but I'm getting a strong message that other people in our lives have been affecting us by the things they might be saying. And that's not to say that the things they're saying are necessarily bad things, or that they're purposely trying to gossip about us, though that could be the case for some people. This is a general reading, and general readings are for everybody. So there'll be different messages in what I'm saying and in what you're seeing for everybody. But I get a general energy for everybody when I do a general reading. So take with it what you will and leave whatever doesn't fit behind. It doesn't mean the reading's not for you. It just means it's a general reading. But so I may be seeing gossip and things like that, but that doesn't mean that. It's people. It's a people through their words, through the things they may have said to you or said about you or around you that affected you into this triggering. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that these conversations happened within the last 2 weeks. It could be that things that have happened in your life in the last few weeks have been reminding you of old conversations that ring in your head, those things that maybe your parents said when you were a kid that you know go over and over and over in your head, and they're not true anymore. Remember, we're looking at truth as not that it wasn't true at one time, but that it is true. How is it true now? And if it's not, how do we release it so that we can move forward into this manifestation energy? So letting people affect our energy and letting people uh, get into our heads with their fears and their worries for us isn't always healthy. And it's not that they're coming from a bad place or that they don't care. It's that people speak out of fear when they care, unfortunately. And sometimes those things trigger us because we know where we're at, we know where our truths are, and we know where we want our lives to go. And sometimes just because someone who cares about you or someone who's an authority figure, a boss, a parent, a spouse, not that a spouse should be an authority figure, but you know what I mean, someone that what they say, their opinion matters to you, it doesn't mean that their opinion is all there is. So we're releasing this energy. We're releasing the energy of what other people have said to us and what other people want us to believe about ourselves, or what they're trying to tell us to get us to do the quote unquote right thing. We don't need that. We know we can take that information and store it in our stockpile to use for good advice. But if it is triggering you into these tower moments, okay, then we're going to use that. We're going to use that energy and it's going to be good for us and we're going to move forward. However, we're going to discard it or put it off to the side if it's putting us in a bad place, if it's putting us in a place where our energy is dipping and we're unable to manifest the things we really want. And then we come to our present. Now, a long time ago, when I first started reading tarot, I came across this book, and it had 6 cards in the tarot that you could read differently than traditional meaning. And what I've learned to do is sometimes I feel guided to read the card for what I know it to mean. And this Eight of Cups is one of those cards. And the reason I'm bringing this up to you is because today, as soon as I flipped that card down just now, I got that picture of that book, and that's how I know I'm supposed to read it as the book says. So we're not going to read it as a traditional Eight of Cups today. We're going to read it as what this book referred to as the amethyst rose. And the amethyst rose is that we are divinely guided, we're being healed, and we are in a place of movement. We're in a place of divine guidance and inspiration. And that's what this card, I was drawn to use that book's definition instead of the traditional definition. So there is part of the traditional definition, which is this yearning for that a lot of us are feeling. And I do feel, and this isn't for everybody, but I do feel a very strong yearning in the love department, okay? Romantic love when I say that. Not that you don't have love or that you're not have tons of people that may want to get to know you or things like that, but you inside do have this yearning. And the fact that I was drawn to see this as the amethyst rose, the amethyst being a healing stone, a stone that does draw love, a stone of hope, a stone of recognition that there is help and that your angelic forces are there with you and just need to ask for it. But that doesn't mean that that energy isn't still there. So let's try to remember in our present right now, while this new moon is happening, that yes, I may feel this yearning, but let's turn this yearning around. Let's turn this yearning into a, 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 a desired effect. Okay, so let's try to get ourselves in the excitement of knowing that we have help and we are transforming and moving forward and releasing all of those things that don't serve us anymore, right? We no longer need to dwell on what we don't have and sit there and look at our half glass empty or the only see in the picture there's a guy with four or a girl with four chalices, and what he or she is looking at is these chalices have stuff in them. And in some of the decks, you can see the other chalices behind them. But she's really only dwelling on the one that has nothing in it. So we want to get out of that energy. We want to get out of that feeling of, but I don't have this, and get happy in the knowledge of what we have. We want to get happy with and grateful for what's present and get excited, not yearning for, but excited for what's to come, knowing that we are divinely guided, that we do have a spiritual team helping us and saying, you're on the right path, you're moving in the right direction. All right. And we want to see this tower, we want to see it as a real movement, as a real, shaking you to the core maybe before, but now the ground is leveled and we're ready to build up into what we're supposed to be. And will we feel tired? Will we feel overworked? Yeah, probably. But when you get into that energy, that's the time to recognize that it's time to rest. That's all. We don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I have some. It's time to rest. It's a signal for us when you start to feel tired, when you start to feel that momentum and that movement and the inspiration to act. Eventually, in the next few weeks, you might start to feel a little tired. You might start to feel like, I don't want to do anymore. Don't take it as a time to stop. Take it as a time to rest. So we don't get in an energy of a doldrum, the energy of not feeling so hot, the energy of wanting to quit or crawl under the covers and not get out again. We want this energy to be, okay, I need a rest today. And tomorrow I'll pick right back up where I was. That's what we want that to feel like. So look at it as a sign when you start to feel this overworked energy, as it's time to step back, because we are in a place where we don't need to feel that anymore. We don't need to feel overworked and overdone. We have to find the place where we say no. And a lot of the energy right now is about learning to say no. Say no when people are telling you things that you don't need to hear or want to hear. You can say, thank you for the advice. I'm fine. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You want to say no to yourself about this feeling of lack and what I don't have. And you want to say no when you're feeling pushed, even if you're the one that's pushing yourself to overdo. Say, nope, I'm not doing that today because I don't want to push myself further into an energy of becoming ill, physically ill, or depressed, or just where I don't want to move forward anymore. All right. It's time to know. Okay. And this is where all of us are right now. Maybe not all of us. I shouldn't say that. But if you're drawn to this reading, I'm guessing, you're someone who is in this energy. We have planted the seeds. Okay. We have planted the seeds. And that's what this is all about, this transformation, okay? We are gestating, we are germinating in the soil. The things we've put out there are right there, ready to be picked. We just need to do a little bit more work in our energy. And we want to put this into hyperdrive. We want to put this energy into hyperdrive so that these sprouts, we're going to use some kind of fancy new age uh, fertilizer to get this sprouts a little bit further along than maybe we need them, they would normally be. But that's the space we're in. And I don't know if you can see, but this gentleman, there's a rainbow right behind him. And though he's working, so we're going back to here, and he's sowing the seeds in his field, notice all the bloom behind him, the flowers. So he's just got some more before he can harvest the whole thing. And that's what Spirit wants us to know about this Scorpio new moon, is that we are manifesting. We are manifesting. And right now, today, we may feel that energy of, boy, I got so much more work to do. But in reality, it's important that we realize that we've come very far and that things are about to start sprouting for us. And a lot of the reasoning for why we feel this, I have so much further to go, goes back into this energy of people talking. So these are those people telling us those truths that we were just talking about at the beginning, these truths that maybe aren't true anymore. Maybe they never were true. But what people are saying, maybe they're referring to the you of the past. You can't do this. You're not finished yet. You never finish things. Those negative comments that we hear from people. Let's remember that's all this is. That's what's influencing this feeling of, I'm not done yet. I might not do it. I might fail. Let's get those I mights out of there and go into those I know. I know I'm manifesting. I know that the things I want are here for the taking. And here it is. This is the 10 of Pentacles, all right? The 10 of Pentacles is always a card of manifestation. It's kind of like the all around of all the 10s in the deck. This is the 10 of everything. It often means material things, but it isn't just material. It is family. It is a home. It is money. It is food. It is love. It is everything. So that's what our angelic team wants us to know, is what's coming for us. And look at this beautiful card. So our final, the 10th house card here is the Empress. The Empress is all about manifesting. She's all about receiving what is due to her, receiving what she has put energy into, what she has just stated. She's a creator. It's often a symbol of childbirth coming. So maybe some of you might hear about a child being born, or you might find out someone's pregnant in the next few weeks. And that's all part that would make you happy, not necessarily like a negative thing. Or some kind of new project that maybe is a part of something you've already been working on and you've already been manifesting. And some new thing is going to pop up for you. but it's really the base of it is the things that we have put into gestation, that we have put into germination, are ready to sprout, are ready to give birth. And you see these little, they look like shooting. I don't know what the heck they are. But to me, when I see that, and I've had this deck for a very long time, this is a Grendon deck. It's not even in print anymore. I don't think I've ever noticed or really paid attention to these things on this card. And to me, they look like rockets shooting off into space. Think about if you ever listen to Abraham Hicks, what she says about rockets of desire being launched. We've already launched those rockets of desire, and now they're giving birth. Now is the time. So, with that said, we are going to move into some of our oracle decks here to see what energy and what advice, what energy we're in, what energy we're going into, and what spirit wants us to know. Whoa! All right. Oh my gosh. So, 2 cards popped out. All right. Oh, 3 cards popped out. And normally I wouldn't take 3, but they all 3 go with exactly what I've been saying. So I don't know if you can see this, but the first one is grow. All flowers must grow through dirt. That goes, I'm going to put that over here with our germination. This is where we're at. Our stuff is ready to take flight. And then look at this one. Move. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Well, we're all about the movement with our transformation and our foundation, everything being, flush to the foundation so that we can start that building and growing and have those things that we desired manifest. And look at that. So I said new things manifesting. It's beginnings. Don't be afraid to start small. Well, we started small with our seeds here. And look, this is showing us that it's going to be big. So I'm going to put, I don't normally do this, but I just kind of thought it was crazy that those 3 popped out, and they all 3, very much so, have to do with exactly what we've been talking about here. I love doing oracle cards because, the tarot and from what I get in messages are definitely good messages. By the way, if you are interested, I have it upside down. This is The Secret Garden, Enchanted Messages from Quiet Spaces by Jessica Lay, if anybody's interested. And the next deck I'm pulling from is our Ascended Masters. Okay, I'm going to put it right here. It is a Doreen Virtue deck. I don't think it's in print anymore. But it is a great deck, and it is great for advice. So let's see. What does Spirit want us to know about what advice we have so we can either feel better knowing these things are going to manifest, put us in a space where we can manifest, or just be where we need to be so that we notice and can see the things that have appeared for us. Find the blessings in your current situation. So, wow. So this goes, can you see that? Find the blessings in your current situation is Krishna. And this goes to here, the energy that's behind this, even though this is the amethyst rose telling us that we have movement and that we have a new beginning coming, but it does have that yearning energy. And then over top of our transformation, what's on the surface that we're kind of showing to the world, though we know that we have this great movement happening, that we have this great transformation happening, is this looking at what we don't have. So the advice from Spirit as to how do we get into that energy so that we can see what's manifesting for us is to find the blessings in our current situations. Not looking at life like, oh, I'll only be happy when I have this. As soon as he comes or she comes, I will feel fulfilled. No, be fulfilled in yourself. Be fulfilled in what you have. Be fulfilled in the beautiful things that are in your life presently. Because when you're grateful and see how blessed you are, see the wonders of the life you have currently, that is when things start moving and a grooving, because it's going to put you in that energy that you need to be in. All right, the next one I'm reading from is the The universe has your back. I love this deck. I use it all the time when I do our Sunday celebrations, syncretistic celebrations, if anybody's interested. Also, this is an offshoot of a group that I started through Enlighten My World called our virtual psychic reading parties. And I started it when we went into COVID because I had so many people that had wanted to have in-person tarot reading parties, and they couldn't because we went into COVID and nobody was allowed to see anybody. So I put out the offer, hey, if you guys want, we can do it virtually, and I'll set up a Zoom meet. And so I just kept it going, and people keep asking to be in the group, so I figured, why not keep it that way? And so if you're interested, while I shuffle, because the universe has your back deck, must have some interesting advice for us because it doesn't want to pop out. If you're interested in booking a virtual party, meaning you host it and invite your friends, and I do the readings, you can find out more information about them on Enlighten My World Services section on our page. Or just you can instant message me or put a message in this chat. It's up to you. There's many ways you can contact me. Wow, these really don't. I might have to just pick one. They don't want to pop out. So I'm going to hope and pray and guess that this is beautiful. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. Look at that. That goes right to this amethyst rose. Know that you are being taken care of. Know that the things you want, that you desire, are coming forth into your life. How do we start to see that? How do we start to make that movement happening? By being excited and happy with what we have and the knowing that what we want is coming. And I don't know if I'm going to put this here. So if you want, you can take a screenshot or whatever. I don't want you to get my hand in there. That's the best way to do this. There you go. I like to put it on my phone or put it somewhere I can see it. Okay, now moving on. I have Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So the Wisdom of the Oracle deck is by Colette Baron Reed. This is also a wonderful, wonderful oracle deck that has beautiful pictures and symbols in the pictures. And I feel, I don't move this up anymore. I may have to pick our boxes out, but I just want you to be able to see the boxes in case you want to get those decks. I know I have a lot of decks, and most of them I put in my little Christmas wish list or whatever. I see them in other readers' readings, and I get all excited. Ooh, I never saw that before. And sometimes they just call to me. I used to have to go into special stores and sift through their stuff, but there's less and less stores that sell cards. Anywho, all right. So this one is the Thinker. That's what popped out. The Thinker. So really look at, there's stars in this picture. Stars, the star card means wishes come true, your bounty's ready to come. And 44 is the number, if that means anything to anybody. And the Thinker, so typically this is about, getting out of your head. All right. Which, yes, absolutely. We need to get out of our heads. But what I'm getting from this is a little different right now, though that is true still. Get out of your head, get into a place of joy and a place of fun, a place of comfort and ease. Okay. That's the energy you want to focus on. But this little fairy, she kind of looks sad, but I also feel that she looks maybe just contemplative. And to me, the message I'm getting beyond your typical looking at this card is that we do need to visualize And we do need to kind of create a plan of the things we want. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything formalized or structured, just to put it out there. Maybe daydream, or before you go to sleep, have a little imagination dream about what you want. Really put it out there. Try not to be too specific, but you can be specific when you're imagining, because that definitely makes it fun. But this, I think, is about maybe getting out of our head, but getting into a place of imagination and knowing what you want to manifest, even if it's something that seems completely nuts and that's never going to happen. You want to get out of that space and into a space of, this is what I want. So I did get a strong vibe of romantic love and the yearning for romantic love. And like I said, it doesn't mean it's for everybody. It could also mean within the relationship you currently have. Maybe a new space you want it to move into. Maybe a wonderful relationship, but we can always use a fresh new look at it. Or maybe it's completely something new. Maybe it's something you've never had before that you have a yearning for. But there is a strong romantic part to the energy I'm getting. And I was called to pull the Whispers of Love deck, which I didn't think was going to really be about, excuse me, romantic love. But I think, oh, wow, this one's exciting. Okay. Not only is this an absolutely beautiful card to look at, this is the card of true love. This love is once in a lifetime. So maybe some of you have been yearning for that true love, that person that you've been waiting for your whole life, or maybe you've known them and they've come in and out of your life, and maybe this is someone that's already in your life and you know it, but maybe you've been second guessing. Maybe you've been thinking that that can't be the case. I don't think this person is the one. Well, this card to me goes back to that romantic notion that I was getting earlier, and that is that if you're with someone currently, they are the one. They are your true love. And if you are yearning for someone, then maybe in this time of the new moon, you will be manifesting the right person, the one, your forever person. And if someone from the past that you've thought was your true love, maybe they weren't, and your true love is coming in, or maybe they are and they're coming back. So this was a very, like I said, a general reading. So it can be looked at in many ways. I want you to really look at this card because there are pictures within the man and the woman's flowers and things on their heads. So I'm going to let you look in there because there might mean something, or it might look like somebody you know, or a symbol that maybe someone you love gave to you, or that makes you think of them when you see it. So just to give you a little clue as to maybe who the universe is talking about, that's either coming into your life or is in your life. So you can look nice and close. You can take a screenshot. I see an Asian woman. Looks like a starling. There's actually design in the starling's wing over here. There's an old man playing a guitar, like a Spanish. There's a note written here, kind of like an old note that was crumpled and maybe reopened. Somebody that tossed a love letter away. I don't want to see it, and then something I have to, and they open it back up, and there's fireworks, and there's I think there's a frog or something in here, but I can't tell. There's a baby inside this orchid. There's a fan. This is a shell, but inside the shell is a beautiful scene within the shell. And then there's two lover unicorns, and there's somebody with a magic wand down here. So just so much symbolism in there. I think Hopefully, you'll see something, and the number is the number 30, if that means anything to you, and 30 reduces to 3. Our final card. I'm going to pull from one of my favorite decks, Whispers of Lord Ganesh, and we're going to get us a good message from Lord Ganesh, Elephant God, Son of Brahma, and these are usually that action based, because Ganesh is about the yang energy, that divine masculine energy. And so whenever we get messages from Lord Ganesh, they are about action, and that's what we're coming into. We're coming into a place of action, right? We're in transformation. Things are gestating, things are growing, and sure enough, there's going to be some action we need to take in the next few weeks. Everything wanted to come out. Oh, generosity. Generosity. Now, again, beautiful card. It's a little rat. Some of you may not like rats, but I do. I don't like them in my house necessarily, but Ganesh is feeding the little critter, And if you know about elephants and mice or rats, they are not elephants do not like little creatures like that. So Lord Ganesh is kind of stepping out of his comfort zone here to give to this little creature. And though I would normally say that Lord Ganesh is saying be generous, I kind of feel that Lord Ganesh, maybe I think a lot of you who might be coming across this reading aren't necessarily people who uh, aren't generous. You are people who don't necessarily allow yourselves to receive. Going into this divine feminine, and when I say divine feminine, does not mean female or male. This is the energy that exists within all of us, the yin energy, the receiving energy, the energy of allowing, where yang energy is the masculine, divine masculine energy that we all have within us, and that's action based, that's giving, that's moving forward. And this isn't moving backwards, this is sitting and allowing. So I think this has to do a little bit with that. Though they want us to know that things are going to be picking up and there is action, and we may feel, a little tired from efforting. We don't want to effort too much, but in order for this to come in, we have to be in a space of gratitude for what's there. And I know there is movement. I think the movement is pushing us. It's not necessarily that we need to do anything. Because remember, this is that visualization person. This person's not moving, this person's sitting and thinking and contemplating and imagining. This is allowing ourselves to receive. This is sitting in the boat and allowing the gondolier to steer the boat through Venice. And I don't know if that means anything to anybody going to Venice or Italy, but that just came to me and that was kind of strange. So I will let you take that. The number 10 is what's on here. 10 is about transformation. 10 is important in the tarot because it is a final destination kind of card. So I don't think this is you people that are watching are generous. You are overgivers. This is about allowing. This is about allowing even those we feel we take care of that are smaller and less in control than we are, letting them take care of us. Maybe it's letting your kids, do chores, even though you think, oh gosh, if I let them do that, they're gonna ruin it. It's gonna go crazy. I don't even know what to expect. I don't want them to do it. Maybe it's time we let them, the little buggers, do something for us. But that's about allowing generosity, allowing ourselves to be happy, allowing the flow of love to come to us, allowing movement, right? Allowing things to gestate. This is all about knowing where we are, being confident that things are in motion and that you are changing, and that these unpleasant moments, the communication isn't necessarily unpleasant. It just happens to be that you were letting people get into your head in the past and you're not there anymore. Taking a rest when it's time to take a rest. Letting things grow, letting things gestate, knowing that it's just about time. But we don't want to pick too early, because if we pick too early, we lose nutrients, right? We don't get the full bloom or blossom of what we're picking. Okay, I hope that this resonated with you. Please, if you're interested, like I said, in booking a party, let me know. If you're interested in a personal reading, let me know. Otherwise, join us on Sundays for our syncretistic services. I'm coming back to you now. And if you have any questions, please put in the comments. I will definitely get back to you. If you don't come up with a question until after you're done watching this video. So to close, I just want to close our eyes. And I want you to envision a beautiful basket. And I want you to make some wishes. Make 2 or 3 wishes for what you want to come to fruition, what you want in the physical to manifest in your life right now. And let the power of this full moon new moon, let the power of the new moon, which is about manifesting and allow that beautiful moon energy to fill up that basket that you put your wishes into. So think of your wishes. What do you want to manifest? At least partially, if not all of it, right now, right in the next few weeks, tomorrow. What do you want? Put it in that basket. Close your eyes. Put it in that little beautiful basket. And now see energy of the new moon, powerful energy. And it's eclipse season too. We got some eclipse energy going on. We want to use that in there too. Scorpio new moon. We're stripping away, shedding our scales, and starting fresh, starting new. And not over. We're starting new from where we are. So energy filling up, and we're going to allow that energy to take those wishes back out into the cosmos. It's kind of like a scooping of energy. It's going to take your wishes and back to the moon and back to the cosmos, and know that it's there for the taking. You will start to see little things happening in the next few weeks, if not big things. Start writing them down as things start happening. If you get some kind of weird check in the mail for $11.13, strange number, right? Write it down. Synchronicities, write them down. Because those are nods from spirit. Those are little winks and nods saying, we hear you and we know you're watching. So you let them know, yes, I heard you. All right? Many blessings, big hugs. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night. Enjoy